G'day. Well, the good news is I've bought a new phone with video stabilisation and 8 times the memory of my old phone. So anyway, things should be a little more smooth now. Now, the water ingress problem came from this area here, from a stern tube made of fiberglass which wasn't properly sealed and let water into the timbers of the boat. But it's sealed up now, and lots of exploratory holes reveal that there is no dampness in there at all anymore, so that's good news. But inside in here, the hole at the bottom of the bilge that I've drilled out is still showing dampness, even though I've had a fan on it 24/7. So I'm trying a little experiment. I've filled up this cap with salt and water and put a fan on it for about a week, and it's still wet. I imagine the same thing is the problem in the boat, probably due to the high salt concentration and the humidity here, which is around about 80%. Incredibly, there is more water in the cap now than there was a week ago when I started this experiment. Definitely the very salty water actually attracts water. So yes, I'm actually pouring water in here to dry it out. So sponge it out and repeat. See how that goes in a few days. A few days later, with the diminished salt content, it's actually getting quite dry in there. Absolutely fantastic. I think I'll do it again. Okay, the rudder casing now has the gudgeons bolted and glued on. Should be strong enough. My neighbour calls it a Sherman tank. I've had rudder failures in the past and I don't want them again. I think this should do the trick. Not my favourite job. Fiberglassing. You gotta do what you gotta do. The edge is all now sanded with the finishing sander. Took all the fraying bits off, the loose cloth. Next up I'll have to go for it with the block hand sanding method and then start really doing a fairing job. While I'm at it, I better do the rooftop itself at the same time. The thing that makes this so unsatisfying is that you end up with something that looks just the same as it did before, except it's now all rough with fiberglass and you have to redo fairing. Yeah, you end up with something that's just the same as it was. Grinding. It's not nice when this stuff gets all over your body and in your face. Whew. Nice. Power is out today as well, so I'm not going to get much done. Gluing on some extra timber on the tiller so it fits properly in the cheeks of the new rudder system. I've sanded and sanded and sanded and now getting some epoxy on the tiller. It's getting pretty busy around here now. We've got little boats that have basically been kicked out of the main harbour, which is becoming more heavy duty, industrialised, bigger ships coming in, they're dredging it, and all these guys now have been basically booted out. So I've come upstream a bit. Plenty of action to observe. This timber really is quite nice. Okay, the tiller is going in and getting bolted to the rudder stock there. I've cut away ample clearance. And I've bolted on this arrangement here for the tiller pin. It's all good and strong. Now, the thing is, I want to put a table in here, and the way the tiller swings, it really gets in the way. This is the cockpit table, which I'm laminating up to make it nice and stiff. I've actually induced a little bit of curvature to it so that water doesn't pool in the middle, and also it helps with the stiffness. Now, time to get stuck into it with the angle grinder and block sander. Clean up these edges. This rather spectacular carving is the underside of the cockpit table, and the carving is to allow full movement of the tiller. These little boats, it appears that these people live on these boats continuously. Now that's minimalist living, that is for sure. Working out the table supports here in the back of the cockpit, and they will go in like so somehow. Obviously there is no support underneath because the tiller takes up all the room, and a couple more supports will go in the centre here, here and here, and that will also house the autopilot controls. As usual, time's got away from me. Another month has gone by, and it feels like I haven't really got enough done, even though I work on it every day. But I've gone through over 200 sheets of sandpaper. Maybe I spend too much time sanding. Anyway, that's it for this month. See you later.